My beloved child, those moments you assume to be merely part of the ordinary flow of time are, in truth, intersections between the finite and the eternal. What you call tomorrow is not simply a continuation of days, but a doorway long prepared within my design. Do not enter it with fear or hesitation, but awaken to the realization that I am inviting you into a deeper dimension of life. As it is written, "This is the day the Lord has made, let us rejoice and be glad in it." While you carry quiet burdens and unspoken concerns that weigh heavily upon your heart day after day, I have not turned away from you. What you perceive as heavy weights are the very places where I hear you most clearly. When you sigh in silence and words fail you, I still understand completely. Before you call, I will answer; while you are still speaking, I will hear. The purpose hidden in the stillness. The night you are about to enter is not a place where your anxieties continue to press upon you, but a place where I transform them. I do not merely change outward circumstances, I reach into the very root within you where my light can penetrate even the deepest, hidden shadows. You may think certain dreams have faded, that prayers have been forgotten, or that what once burned brightly within you now lingers only as a distant memory. But you must know this: I do not forget anything you have placed into my hands by faith. Remember the story of Joseph, who was cast into a pit and sold as though he were nothing. In those years, every dream seemed buried. Yet within that darkness, I was preparing him for a place of leadership he could never have reached on his own. What was intended for harm, I intended for good. So it is with you. Seasons that seem like loss or delay are not abandonment, but preparation. I am weaving goodness out of the very things you do not understand. Waiting in me is never in vain, it is a season in which your heart is widened and softened to receive what I desire to give. Redefining your true worth. How many layers of false definition have you carried upon yourself without realizing it? You look at your scores, your position, the praise and criticism of others, and the expectations surrounding you, quietly forming conclusions about your value. I know how hard you have tried to be recognized, to be accepted, and to feel like you are enough. But the truth does not lie there. You do not need to strive to be loved, because love reached you before you ever began striving. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you and set you apart. The world measures you by your performance and productivity, telling you that your past mistakes define your current identity. But my eternal standard is entirely different. I do not see you through your stumbles, but through your capacity to be restored. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Remember the prodigal son. When he returned, burdened with shame and believing he was no longer worthy to be called a son, the father ran to him, embraced him, and did not question his past. Your identity is not erased by your mistakes, and my love is not diminished by the distance you have walked. The invitation to the narrow path. Right where you stand, a choice is opening before you. One path is familiar, easy to walk, asking little of you, and requiring only that you blend into the current of this hurried world. But the other path, narrower and less chosen, leads to a profound freedom you have not yet fully experienced. Enter through the narrow gate. For wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. This path of obedience is not a forced helplessness, but an inner posture that knows I am at work even when your eyes cannot see it. When you truly step into this rhythm, your heart becomes lighter. The burdens you once carried no longer press upon you because you are no longer trying to control everything. You are choosing to walk in the rhythm of heaven rather than the hurried pace of the world. Becoming a light to the world. The quiet miracle unfolding within your heart is not meant to be contained, it is a current meant to overflow. Imagine this vividly: someone trembling with fear looks into your eyes and finds a peace they cannot explain. A weary soul crosses your path and encounters a quiet, unforced joy. You do not need to become someone else to bear witness to my love. You do not need a perfect message or complex reasoning. Like the Samaritan woman at the well, your honesty about being broken and then healed is the most powerful invitation. When you allow the truth of what I have done to flow through you, you become a channel of living water to refresh weary souls. A peaceful gaze from you can answer someone's anxiety, a gentle word can become a resting place for a breaking heart. Therefore, my beloved child, slow your pace. Breathe deeply, release the strain, and let your heart rest securely in my presence. Walk forward in peace, not because you have achieved everything or understand the entire path,